Hello. The Napa Valley Unified School District Board of Education is holding a regular board meeting tonight, and we invite participation either remotely or in person. Directions on how to participate via Zoom are available at nvusd.org/board. The open session part of the meeting will begin at around 7 p.m. Next, we're going to be going into closed session, but do we have any public comment on closed session agenda items? Mr. Michaels.
There is no public comment on closed session items.
Thank you. And seeing that there are none, the board will now adjourn into closed session. Good evening. My name is Cindy Water, and this is the Napa Valley Unified School District Board of Education. The NVUSD Board of Education is holding a regular board meeting tonight, and we invite participation either remotely or in person. Directions on how to participate via Zoom are available at nvusd.org/board. Interpretation in Spanish is available for tonight's virtual board meeting. Our interpreters are Francisco Mesa and Isidro Mencos. One of the interpreters will now translate the directions on our English channel so our Spanish-speaking families may hear the instructions.
Buenas tardes. La reunión de la Junta del Distrito Escolar Unificado de Napa Valley va a tener servicio de interpretación simultánea al español esta noche. Para acceder al canal en español, en breves momentos ustedes van a ver en la parte de abajo de su pantalla de Zoom un icono del globo terráqueo. Pueden hacer clic allí y escoger Spanish o español. Si están en su teléfono móvil o una tableta, van a ver 3 puntitos en la parte superior o inferior derecha de su pantalla de Zoom. Al hacer clic allí verán la función interpretación y pueden escoger Spanish o español. Gracias. Back to you.
Thank you. And can we please start with an attendance roll call from Vera Morales, Executive Assistant?
Yes. Trustee Water?
Present.
Trustee Reiser?
Present.
Trustee Shu?
Present.
Trustee Gracia?
Present.
Trustee Hart?
Present.
Quorum present. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for joining us tonight for our NVUSD board meeting. Report on closed session. Trustee Chu, do you have a report on closed session agenda items?
I do. I have several. Item D1, student discipline. With respect to every item of business to be discussed in closed session pursuant to Ed Code 35146 and 48912, Section 20, Government Code Section 49060 and 49078, and the Family Rights and Privacy Act, USC Section 1232G, Student Matters. Readmitted expulsions. The board recommends for the readmission from expulsion for student 6232022C.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, so we need a roll call vote.
Trustee Water?
Aye.
Trustee Reiser?
Aye.
Trustee Shu?
Aye.
Trustee Gracia?
Aye.
Trustee Hart?
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you.
Item D2A, personnel. In closed session, the board took action to approve the following staff recommendation effective the 2024 to 2025 school year. On a motion by Trustee Gracia and second by Trustee Reiser, the board voted 5-0 to appoint Mario Landeros to the position of Director 3, College and Career Readiness. The votes were Trustee Water, aye. Trustee Reiser, aye. Myself, aye. Trustee Gracia, aye. Trustee Jankowicz was absent. Trustee Hart, aye. Trustee Gonzalez-Mars, aye. Oh, sorry, I'm sorry, absent.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great. And President Water, Mr. Landeros is here tonight, and so we want to welcome him to the NVUSD management team He's here with his family. We're so grateful to see them present in the boardroom. We want to offer him the opportunity to address the board. Welcome.
Thank you, Rosanna. Good evening, President Water and School Board. I can't tell you how excited I am about the opportunity to work with this wonderful community, these wonderful students, and I got a little taste on Wednesday of the opportunity to work with these wonderful colleagues as well. So I got a little bit of a fans over there. They've been promised milkshakes, but I just want to say thank you once again, and I look forward to whenever that day is, working with you all. Thank you.
You're most welcome.
All right, and I have one more item, item D7, with respect to items related to existing litigation, Government Code Section 54956.9. The board approved a settlement agreement to resolve a student's educational claims. And
Thank you.
that concludes the report.
Great. And now we're going to move on to the flag salute, and I would like to ask Director Landeros to come up one more time and lead us in the flag salute.
Put me to work right away. Yes.
I'm ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, and I have an announcement. This meeting is live streamed and recorded via Zoom and will be archived on the district YouTube channel. For a detailed review of any meeting agenda item, the archived video can be referenced on the district's webpage at nvusd.org. The process for public comment can also be found on the district's webpage. And now I need, approval of the agenda.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Do I need a public comment on this? No. Okay, thank you. Wait, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And any opposed? No, so it's unanimous. Okay, next is E5, approval of minutes for June 18th, 2024.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, a motion by trustee Gracia, second by trustee Chu. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I will abstain. I was at the meeting.
You were not there on the 18th?
Nope.
Okay, so with an abstention from, I thought you weren't there on the 20th.
I don't think I was at either.
Okay. All righty. Okay, so an abstention from trustee Hart, and then for June 20th, 2024.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, motion by trustee Gracia, second by trustee Chu. All in favor?
Aye.
Abstain?
Abstain.
Thank you. Oh, okay. And E6 is recognition of visitors and employee organizations. Dr. Massetti, do we have any visitors in attendance?
President Water, not tonight.
Thank you. And there are no students of the month for this meeting. I'm just crushed. And G, public comment on non-agenda items. Trustee Chu, did we receive any public comment on non-agenda items via email?
No public comment on non-agenda items was submitted via email at publiccomment@nvusd.org before 8 a.m. this morning.
And Dr. Massetti, do we have anybody online waiting to make a public comment?
No, is it Mr. Michaels tonight?
Yeah, there is no public comment on non-agenda items.
Okay, thank you. All righty, and next we have, let's see, H, reports, Board of Education and Student Board Representative. We do not have a Student Board Representative, but we can do our reports. Trustee Hart?
Okay. First off, I'd like to welcome everybody back to a new school year, 24-25. It's kind of a momentous year for me and our family because I am down to one child in NVUSD from a peak of 4. So my screen photo goes down to just one little kid next Wednesday instead of my normal, everybody that's going to school in town here. Over the summer, I did get the opportunity to attend one graduation I thought was kind of cool and unique, and it was for the credit recovery program. So it was the summer graduation, which I thought was very cool and something I hadn't been aware of before. But I think we had in the neighborhood of 40 kids that ended up graduating through that program. So I just wanted to thank the staff and the teachers and everybody that participated in that and allowed those kids to finish up whatever it is that they needed to make that final jump over the line. So that was very special. And I would also like to give a shout out to Rob for the online digital data confirmation process, because that continues to amaze me. Once upon a time, as I mentioned, I had 4 kids in 4 different schools in the district, and those packets were killing my wrist. So the online stuff where it just picks up all your information and you can just click, click, click and read through everything you need is beautiful. So thank you very much. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. And Trustee Gracia.
Yes, so I too appreciate the ease of use of that tool so that you can just click through. It's very handy. And then on August 5th, I attended the summer mentor graduation. And then on the 6th, I went to the NCOE meeting. And then I felt like it was just appropriate to highlight, sitting in the back there, is my son Alex.
That's great. Trustee Chu.
I also appreciated the data confirmation. Still have 2 in the system for a couple more years. So over summer, I did a couple of things. On July 10th, I attended the American Canyon Meet Me in the Streets, put on by the American Canyon Chamber of Commerce, where I got to visit booths from our students who participated in their kids' commerce. So I wanted to give a shout out to the CEO, Valerie Zizak-Moray, who puts on that wonderful program for our youth every year. This is the second one, and I think she's planning on expanding a little bit more into internships also. And then on Tuesday, I also listened into the NCOE board meeting. And yesterday, I attended a reception for our new ACHS principal at the home of Ms. Kusama Lee, who I think the board knows, and who co-sponsored it with one of our teachers, Beth Goff. So it was really wonderful to see the community come together to welcome our new principal. I hope she feels very supported by the community, and we wish her best of luck as she starts on her new journey in American Canyon. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Trustee Reiser.
Well, this is the first school year since 2009 that I have not been an NVUSD parent, so it's a strange transition for me, but I'm happy to be back here kicking off another school year with all you fine people. And I was also present at the reception at Kusama and Barton Lee's house. It was a really lovely way to welcome Ms. Hatton to her position at ACHS, and I'll add my wishes to her for a wonderful new school year, and also my thanks to Kusama and Barton for, even though they don't have any kids in the school district anymore either, still holding strong for the American Canyon community and the NVUSD schools as they have for many years. So looking forward to a new year, and that concludes my report.
Thank you. Let's see. Well, I did my usual public outreach, and then on June 25th, I had a meeting with City Manager Potter and Public Works Director Lucido and NVUSD parent Bert Tafe over traffic issues. It was really informative, and the city has a new process to start neighborhood traffic studies. You know, it's you can go on their website. It's wonderful. They got a grant. Then on July 31st, New Tech High School, I attended an event. That was last week with all the administrators. It was about our Vision 2040. We had some impromptu sort of theatrical demonstrations. I saw evidence that Intervention Director Knox was once a cheerleader, and our Director of Operations, Gloria Aguiar, should not pass go, but can go directly straight to the Olympics. Did you know that she can lift 1-ton weights? I mean, they said 2040, so I know that that must have been a ton, at least. And then on the 5th, I attended the summer mentor graduation along with Trustee Gracia. And these are our students who work for us, the district, as interns. It was exciting to hear about their summer jobs and to meet them. It was also very gratifying to hear one student say, wow, I didn't know so much work went on during the summer, keeping this place going. That was very interesting. And then on August 6th, I attended the NCOE meeting by way of Zoom. August 7th, check-in with Superintendent Musetti. Today, they'll visited Alta Heights School with Superintendent Musetti and Principal Ward to see the wonderful modernization that happened over the summer. I shouldn't say happened, that's a passive tense. Actually, a lot of people made it happen. Thank you. Thank you to Assistant Superintendent Mangwala and also all the workers. It's just, Alta Heights, I can't wait to go see the other schools that had work done. Alta Heights looks so beautiful. I'm expecting Sotheby's to put a for sale sign on the front. That dark green door and the gray, very on trend. Everything, people are happily moving in. I think that Mrs. Gracia might need a little help over the weekend, though. She's got a lot of boxes. And I'm really happy. It looks just fresh, clean, efficient. Our students will love it. And that's the end of my report. Oh, well, what about you? Do you have a report?
Oh, you have board representative reports.
Oh, board representative reports. Hang on.
You're on to-
Special Ed Community Advisory Committee
We have not met.
and City of American Canyon Liaison Reps,
Also not met.
City of Napa Liaison Reps,
We have not met.
and Town of Yountville Liaison Reps.
We have not met.
I guess I should ask for public comments on all of those.
We don't typically.
Okay, we don't, all right. I'm just, after that one meeting, I'm just very nervous about skipping it. Okay, now superintendent and executive staff.
Great, thank you, President Water, and good evening, NVUSD community. I know a lot of folks are still on summer break, so I hope everyone's enjoying it, but I'm also just thrilled to welcome everyone to the 2024-2025 school year. I hope everyone's summer was restful, relaxing, and filled with fun moments and plenty of recharge, because we know everybody deserves it. I feel that we're poised for a great year ahead. This year, we begin to look towards our future, the future that we designed together through our robust, community-centered strategic visioning and planning process. As many of you recall, this year-long process brought together our students, our parents, our families, our staff, and community members to collectively reimagine the future of NVUSD. This collaboration resulted in a very thoughtful, comprehensive vision, and President Water already alluded to it, Vision 2040, and a strategic plan that will lead us over the next 15 years. So I just, here's the kind of final product. This is the NVUSD 2040 vision, reimagining our future. And on the insert, we have a great letter from me and the school board. And then we have our, in the insert also, we have our 5-year strategic plan with the idea that we will probably have anywhere from 3 to 4 of these over the course of the 15 years of the Vision 2040. So this will be changed, every 3 to 5 years, depending on the length of the upcoming strategic plans. This is the one that we just adopted. This is we'll be going from 2024 to 2029, and it's titled Transforming Our Future Together. So thank you to everyone for contributing to this fantastic work. Our vision intentionally prepares our students to develop agency to create their futures, to be ready for a variety of careers as we really lean into career readiness over the next few years, but are not limited to, of course, college, and to become adults who can confidently take care of themselves. And you see a lot of those attributes nested within our graduate portrait when we talk about how we want our students to leave our system. The strategic plan is the first in a series of multi-year plans outlining the crucial steps that we will take toward realizing Vision 2040. I'm excited to remind everyone of NVUSD's new vision statement that we shared with the board in June when the board adopted both the plan and the vision. Our vision is the following: our graduates are confident, compassionate, and adaptable adults who are well prepared for life and become inspiring advocates for themselves and their community. Our entire NVUSD management team spent 2 full days last week diving into our new strategic vision. We did do a little bit of performing arts in order to ensure that these were hands-on activities where they could learn and integrate the vision into their hearts, their minds, and their souls. As a reminder, the strategic vision includes our vision statement that I just read, a set of 7 core values, and then our 3 portraits, the graduate portrait, the adult portrait, and the systems portrait. We engaged in various learning activities that allowed our leaders to internalize and integrate the new vision along with the strategic plan, and we also introduced the 2024-2025 board annual priorities that the school board did such a fantastic job aligning to this visionary and strategic work. I will be presenting those 2024-2025 board annual priorities to the community and here on the public record tonight later during the evening. I do want to thank President Water, who joined us for a segment of the Leadership Summit. As she mentioned, she jumped right in and started participating in all of the activities, the learning activities, the leadership development activities alongside our NVUSD administrators. And she was a symbol of strong board support for this work. So I really want to thank you investing that time. In addition, we received some news from the Napa Valley Community Foundation this summer about some generous grants that they will continue to provide to support our AVID program, which aligns nicely with our career readiness work. So I want to say thank you to the generous donors from the Freed Family Fund that gave $5,000, the In and Out of School Fund that gave $12,000, and the Gordon F. and Marion J. Davies Endowment Fund that gave us an additional $9,000. We always appreciate the foundation's support of programs like AVID that make an impact on the educational experiences of our students. And lastly, I just want to take a moment to specifically thank our 3 divisions, our leaders of the divisions, the assistant superintendents, and all of the staff in the various departments of the Instructional Support Services Division, the Human Resources Division, and the Business and Operational Services Division for all of their hard work preparing our schools for a successful opening next week, next Wednesday, the 14th. As I begin discussions with our principals, I'm sensing excitement and positive energy about the new school year. I look forward to seeing students, families, and staff during my initial school visits that will take place during the months of August and early September. With that, I'm going to turn it over to the assistant soups who are going to report out on the work that they've been doing to prepare for the school year in their respective divisions. And we'll start with Assistant Superintendent Dana Page, who oversees the Human Resources Division.
Okay. Good evening, President Water, Board of Trustees, and Dr. Massetti. This week at our annual new Certificated Employee Academy, we welcomed 73 of our new 79 certificated employees. Dr. Massetti kicked off the event by introducing the Vision 2040, also reviewing our core values and emphasizing the importance of relationships and culture in our district. Throughout the rest of the 2-day event, attendees learned about strategies and tools to support social-emotional learning and took a deep dive into foundational California standards for the teaching profession, including Standard 1, engaging and supporting all students in learning, and Standard 2, creating and maintaining effective environments for student learning. Participants reflected on their start of the year plans and how they will create environments where all students are valued and supported. They also explored systems of support that are available in our district for adults, learning about our mentoring program, professional development opportunities, and our long history of collaborative practices. On the more technical side, attendees received their laptops, engaged in hands-on training with the Promethean board, and were introduced to key board policies. We were pleased with the turnout and the energy from the group, and we will be following up to learn about their formative experiences with the NVUSD through the use of a 30, 60, and 90-day survey. I'd like to thank Kate Gauger for orchestrating this terrific start for our new certificated employees. I would also like to thank all of the employees who worked throughout the summer to prepare schools and our systems for a new school year. And I want to welcome the rest of the staff back and wish everyone a smooth and joyful start to the new year. Thank you, and this concludes my report.
Thank you, Assistant Superintendent Page, for all your hard work in human resources. And next, we have Assistant Superintendent Dr. Monica Reddy, who will report out on the work happening in the Instructional Support Services Division.
Good evening, President Waters, Board of Trustees, Superintendent Dr. Massetti, and Napa community. This summer, the Napa Valley Unified School District's Instructional Support Services Division has been actively engaged in extending learning opportunities for our students. The Expanded Learning Opportunities Program, or ELOP, served over 1,900 students at 9 different locations in Napa and American Canyon, Additionally, 233 students were from ages 3 to 22 continued to receive special education services this summer through July 15th due to our special education staff. Our youngest learners were immersed in enriching experiences through field trips, special guest visits, and other hands-on activities. Some of the highlights were the Oakland Zoo, Sky Zone Trampoline Park, Playway Technology, and Harmony Music, and Play and Clay, just to name a few. Students received targeted academic support through the new TCM Summer Scholars curriculum for both math and reading. Students were identified based on their end-of-year STAR and ESGI assessment data, as well as site referrals, and approximately 700 rising first through rising sixth grade students were invited to participate in this 3-week high-density instructional program. Instruction for both our dual immersion and traditional schools were provided by 38 certificated teachers to approximately 440 students at 8 school sites, including Donaldson Way, which served the students attending the American Canyon Boys and Girls Club clubhouse. At the elementary school sites, we hosted an 8-day kinder readiness program. The First Step program is an opportunity for entering kindergarten students to experience a school setting and become familiar with classroom expectations. The primary goal for the First Step kindergarten prep program is to develop social skills and introduce these incoming kindergartners to routines, rules, and procedures. The program provides developmentally appropriate activities with limited use of technology that reinforce essential skills for kindergarten success. For our middle and high school students, programs like Aim High, Migrant Education, and Extended School Year offered a blend of leadership development and academic enrichment. We were particularly proud to support our summer graduates through credit recovery, allowing them to complete their high school journey with a diploma in hand. As we embark on a new strategic plan, our efforts to support career-aligned real-world learning continues to grow and flourish through the Summer Mentor Program in partnership with the Napa Valley Education Foundation. This summer, 88 students participated in the Summer Mentor Program, which is comparable to summer 2023. Students gained valuable paid and mentorship experiences across 5 different key industries, including agriculture, technology, hospitality, construction and maintenance, education, manufacturing, STEM, and viticulture. NVUSD staff from various departments, including food service, human resources, instruction, maintenance and operations, technology, and transportation, mentored over 30 students, making NVUSD one of the largest employers in the program and further deepening their connection to their community and the workforce. As we prepare to open schools next week, it was powerful to hear from the Summer Mentor Program graduates who worked in NVUSD. They shared how the veil was lifted for them as they experienced firsthand how much goes into ensuring our schools operate smoothly. This experience has given them a deeper appreciation for the behind-the-scenes efforts that make learning in a classroom possible every day. The Instructional Support Services team is especially grateful for the NVUSD staff across the divisions who support these real-world experiences for our students. To ensure a successful start to the school year, Instructional Support Services has been providing training sessions to staff. Our focus remains on literacy and mathematics through a tiered response. This week, middle and high school English language arts teachers participated in their first Study Sync training, while elementary teachers engaged in training on the new Bridges curriculum. New high school math teachers are undergoing 2 days of Carnegie Learning training, and over 80 staff members participated in AVID training throughout the summer, where they learned strategies to help with literacy that are focused on writing, inquiry, collaboration, and reading. In an effort to strengthen our Tier 2 and 3 academic interventions, a team of staff attended the MTSS conference, and our special education teachers had the opportunity to engage in new learning in the areas of literacy and the Teach Town curriculum. We look forward to seeing how these professional learning opportunities transfer to student learning and outcomes this year. And as we close, we're excited to welcome students back to school next week and look forward to sharing about our launch to the 2024-2025 school year. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Dr. Reddy. And next and last, we have Assistant Superintendent Rob Manguala, who oversees the Business and Operational Services Division.
Well, good evening, and thank you for the opportunity to update the board and the community. I'd like to start by acknowledging and commending our new executive assistants, Liz Gomez and Marie McMurray. They are doing exceptional work and ensuring the smooth integration of business and operations. So I'll start by embarrassing the one person that I could see in the room. The Business Services Office is focusing on closing the books. This means that we are finalizing all transactions for the 23-24 fiscal year. We're also working on our compensation formula. We anticipate we'll have this work completed prior to September 15th. The Enrollment and Data Services team are working to enroll new students and ensure that our student information system is ready for the new school year. Master schedules are being updated and enrolled, and the team is working on ensuring that all users can log in and have a successful first day of school. NOSH will be hosting their annual back-to-school training on February 9th at Will Elementary School, where all 82 members are invited to attend a training with a guest speaker inspiring the staff with a message about the magical world of feeding kids. Additionally, the department will receive the workplace violence training, review annual board policies, and get important department updates for a successful back-to-school launch. NOSH is excited and eager for the school year to start. New menu items include Filipino-style chicken, adobo crunchy honey chipotle chicken wrap, a plant-powered fajita burrito, gochujang wings, and classic Cobb salad. You can find these items coming soon on the department's new revamped menu templates. The menus boast a fresh and modern look that extends the NOSH brand, reflect the high-quality food, and culturally relevant offerings students are served daily. You can check them out on the NOSH website. The data team had a very eventful summer and is excited and ready to support our amazing staff and students as they start the 24-25 school year. The summer began with the addition of 10 high school interns joining our team as a part of the NVEF Summer Mentor Program, and they got right to work assisting with the replacement of all Chromebooks in the elementary school level classroom, so big lift there. Helping our team with many of the moves of tech equipment related to summer facility improvements and testing, repairing, and returning over 300 Chromebooks into circulation. Our team has had a lot of fun working with them and getting to know the intern crew. We'll be very sad to see their time with us come to an end tomorrow. Our network team has been working very hard all summer to get our new Wi-Fi system up and ready for action, and early results show a much faster, stable, and secure network for our staff and students to enjoy. Keep an eye out for more communication from Jordan Michaels with information on how to connect to the Wi-Fi. Operations and maintenance are busy getting ready for the start of school. A lot of employees from these departments will be working over the weekend to ensure that our schools are ready for the start of school. Summer construction is wrapping up at many sites. We will provide a comprehensive update and presentation about our summer construction work, along with projects completed by our own internal staff in operation, maintenance, and grounds at our next board meeting. So I'm keeping the content in these departments pretty small. This concludes my report.
President Water, that concludes the executive team's reports this evening.
Okay, thank you. By the way, since my brain and my stomach are interchangeable, I'm going to send you the article that was in the Press Democrat about our food. I think I sent it to you and you all. Great. Okay, now we're moving on to I, approval of consent agenda. Background information on these items is provided to the board prior to the meeting. A common motion takes action without discussion on roll call vote unless discussion of item is requested by a board member. And Mr. Michael, are there any public comments?
There are no public comments on this item.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion from Trustee Gracia, a second from Trustee Hart, and we need a voice vote.
Trustee Water?
Aye.
Trustee Reiser?
Aye.
Trustee Shu?
Aye.
Trustee Gracia?
Aye.
Trustee Hart?
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you. And now, J, presentations and discussion items. General Services, A, 2024-2025 Board Annual Priorities Presentation. Do we have any public comments on this, Mr. Michaels?
I'm going to do the presentation first.
Okay, do the presentation first.
Yep, we're just going to wait for the slides to come up for a second. Great. Well, this is our annual tradition of me as the superintendent presenting the board annual priorities to the community. And then it's sort of a reflection back to the school board because the work was conducted in June when we were wrapping up the 23-24 school year as we prepared to launch 24-25. So next slide. This is another opportunity to just remind the community and the school board that although our board annual priority setting practice is years in the making at this point, it's important for us to connect our board annual priorities to our new 2040 vision, which you see there, which I read during my report. And then secondly, we have the mission, which reads, our mission is to prepare each student for a successful future by delivering rigorous and relevant learning experiences that develop their literacy and career-ready skills, cultivate their interest, and build resilience, compassion, and confidence. The mission is tethered to our 5-year strategic plan. So the vision connects to the long-term 15-year Vision 2040. The vision is our what and our why. The mission is our how, and the strategic plan, the 5-year strategic plan, is all about our how. So the mission is tethered to the 5-year strategic plan. Our vision will not change over the next 15 years. However, our mission can change every 5 years as we cycle through strategic plans. Next slide. In addition, we always want to ground this work, of course, in all of the tools that we develop through the visioning process. So as a reminder, the board annual priorities are our 24-25 sort of focus areas at the governance level, and they will contribute 1 year's worth of work towards attaining the elements that we see in the graduate portrait, the adult portrait, and the system portrait. Next slide. I'd just like to remind the community, of course, the board understands this and knows this. The governance team is made up of the 7 board members along with the superintendent, and we come together starting in the spring. I'd like to back it up. We do midterm superintendent performance evaluation in January or February, depending on the constraints on the calendar. And at that point, we're doing a midterm assessment of the current year annual priorities. We're assessing how that work is going, and that starts to sort of inform the year ahead, because as we all know in school districts, come January of the respective school year that we're in, we start to do the forward planning for the upcoming school year. And so at that midterm, we check in around the current priorities, and we start sort of planting the seeds for what might be ahead in the upcoming school year after being 6 months into our current year. The board starts discussions in closed session under superintendent evaluation to talk about what will be our focus areas for the upcoming year, starting in April. And then after we close the year that we're in, the board comes together in June to conclude superintendent evaluation and then start based on what we were able to accomplish, which really gets detailed through the performance evaluation process for me, the superintendent. The board then reconvenes once again and uses that data and information to set priorities for the upcoming year. So that is our process. It's just a really good reminder that we use the board priorities to stay focused as a governance team, to also provide focus and clarity to the staff around what's important in this respective year as the board fulfills its function around sort of setting direction for the district year to year. And then third, it serves the purpose of superintendent performance evaluation, because in this district, the board, me, the superintendent, have agreed to use the board annual priorities as the criteria for evaluating the superintendent. Next slide. All right, so what are the annual priorities for 24-25? We have 7 of them. You're going to see in the gray box the annual priority that was articulated by the board. And then we like to show the alignment between that annual priority in the given year, along with its connection and alignment to the 5-year strategic plan strategy that we have. So on the right, you'll see some of our new strategic plan strategies. There are a total of 15 that we'll be working over the course of the next 5 years. So just showing that alignment, that the priority of the board and the governance team does align with the new strategic plan. So the first one is evidence-based high-quality literacy instruction, TK-12, with a focus on early literacy and intervention, really building upon the work that we've done over the course of the last couple of years, focused on training our teachers at the earliest years, TK through second, third grade, on literacy practices, because we know that the research shows that if students leave third grade proficient in reading, that they're likely to be more successful in the long term in school. So we're really focusing in on that priority this year, and that's aligned with our strategy 1 in the strategic plan, that is about an instructional framework. And that instructional framework calls for rigorous, high-quality instruction that promotes literacy across all the content areas. So you see that's the broader focus over the 5 years, and this year we're really going to zone in on the early literacy and intervention. Next slide. It aligns to our system portrait as well, so again, showing more alignment towards with the visioning tools. The system portrait element that it aligned with is making sure that we're providing real-world innovative learning experiences to our students. Next slide. And then we shift to annual priority 2, leaving early literacy and then thinking about career readiness. This was an annual priority last year, and the board was really excited about the progress that was made, and we still have more work to do. So the governance team agreed to keep it as an area of focus. It's articulated as innovation and alignment of career readiness. Our career readiness programs TK through 12, fantastic alignment with the 5-year strategic plan, because the strategic planning rendered strategy 2, which is systems for career aligned real world learning. So complete alignment there. We're just laying the foundation for this strategy in the strategic plan. Go ahead, next slide. Also like to show that system portrait alignment, and that priority and strategy also align with this concept of real world innovative learning experiences for all of our students. Next slide. The third priority that the board agreed to, and the governance team agreed to, is developing an understanding of where to access student achievement data, its value, and how to utilize it to drive decision-making and student learning. We are really working diligently after prioritizing the financial and organizational health of our district. That focus of the last 5 years has really positioned the district to now focus on student achievement and improving the quality of teaching and learning across the classrooms and the levels in our school district. And we believe that in order to do that effectively, we need to use data to drive instructional planning and the quality of the instruction that's deployed in the classroom. And so this is really about starting to build a data culture where teachers, principals, central office administration get really comfortable and confident with using data to inform everything that has to do with planning, instruction, and teaching and learning. And that also nicely aligns with strategy 3 in our strategic plan, which reads building an assessment framework and culture of student data use here in the district. And so again, this annual priority will help us build the technical foundation necessary to execute on that 5-year plan around the assessment framework, the culture that comes with that, and the culture of data use that should come with that. Next, you'll see again, repeat of system portrait alignment, all of those priorities and those strategies that they align with in the strategic plan support that element of real world innovative learning experiences in our school system. Next slide. Annual priority 4 starts to shift the focus from the teaching and learning element of the work that we do in the school district to more the human resource work that we need to do, the building up of our people in order to be able to execute on those instructional focused priorities. And so last year we built a foundation around this, and the governance team agreed that we thought it was valuable to continue to work on culture and relationships in the organization. And so you see annual priority number 4, which reads providing learning and workplace environments. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm going down the wrong, it's aligned but not quite aligned with what I stated. This is actually a new priority. It does connect to a priority I'll share in a moment. But this one is related to our strategies around school safety and creating a culture of safety in the district and ensuring the community that the district is focused on the safety of our students, that the workplace and the school environments are focused, that are safe for our employees and our staff. So the priority reads providing learning and workplace environments that ensure physical and psychological safety. We appreciate this priority. We know in today's world, safety is a non-negotiable. High-quality teaching and learning cannot happen at schools where students and staff don't feel safe. And so we want to do all the work necessary to ensure that. We happen to also have a strategic plan strategy focused on this. So improving school and district safety is actually one of our strategies. So this priority will lay the foundation for that strategy. And then we also have a strategy in the strategic plan around equitable access to health and wellness. We believe that psychological and physical safety is part of wellness, and it fosters wellness in the district and creates that culture. So we're happy to see that this annual priority will help lay the foundation across 2 strategies in the strategic plan. The system alignment for this annual priority, next slide, Nikki, please, is we have a system portrait element that calls out wellness and healing. And so that priority is well aligned along with those 2 strategies in the strategic plan. The 5th annual priority has to actually do with socializing the vision and strategic plan with students, staff, families, and community members. Over the course of the last few years, many of those years, a majority of those years, we've actually had a priority that focuses on communication and community engagement. This year, specifically, that priority on communication and community engagement has a laser-like focus on ensuring that we get our vision and strategic plan out there in the universe, right? The universe of NVUSD, that our students start to interface with the graduate portrait, for example. They come to, connect with the why behind our compelling vision, that the staff can really see how the visioning tools in the strategic plan will inform the work that they do day to day, and that the families of NVUSD and the community members understand our why and our what and our how. And so we have this priority dedicated to this year really getting the message out and socializing the plan. That also aligns nicely. We have a specific strategy in the strategic plan that's focused on doing this over the course of the next few years. This year will be the year where we again lay the foundation around that work. It aligns to one of our system portrait elements. We actually have a portrait element that's called cross-cutting strategy area. There's a couple of strategies in the strategic plan that sort of cut across all of the areas and core functions of the district. This idea of getting the plan out to employees, external community members, NVUSD families, and to even our students cuts across all of our strategies. So we call it this category, cross-cutting strategy area. Okay, the 6th is going back to that idea of culture and relationships and our organizational culture here in NVUSD, where we want to ensure that all of our employees feel like they are seen, heard, and that they matter, is the focus of annual priority 6. I mistakenly, in the previous priority, had mentioned that we had a priority last year focused on culture and relationships. And so here it is. It's actually articulated in the same way that it was last year because the governance team agreed that we did a good job of establishing a foundation last year, but we want to continue to build upon that. One of our key tactics in operationalizing this outward mindset, the leadership development and capacity building, is through our partnership with the Arbinger Institute. And so we just recently, actually, a couple weeks ago, had our first trainer of trainers group get trained on how to deploy the training so that we can start to get to more employee groups across the organization as we continue to prioritize relationships and organizational culture. We believe that that is critical to be able to accomplish the instructional improvement agenda that we've laid out in the first 3 priorities. Also aligns with 2 strategies in the strategic plan. One around cultivating a culture of belonging. So by continuing to advance this work in annual priority 6, we create a culture of belonging for all employee groups so that they all know that they matter and contribute to the achievement of our students. And then the second one is that we're aiming to unify professional learning throughout our system. Historically, in the past, it's not atypical for school districts to overwhelmingly focus on professional development of their certificated employees, that being the managers and the teachers, and often support staff are not included in professional development systems and plans. You see that the priority emphasizes all employee groups. That means that we value the development of our support staff alongside the development of leaders, managers, and our classroom teachers. And so we have a strategy in our strategic plan that emphasizes that, which is unifying professional learning across the system. What system portrait elements does that priority align to? Well, actually 2 of them. We have in our system portrait an element focused on inclusivity and belonging, so that culture work aligns to that, and then innovation and leadership. And so when we're talking about leadership development, that directly correlates with that system portrait element. Next slide, and last priority. The last priority is the integration of our business and operations departments to optimize our support to school sites, departments, and the community, and to create efficiencies in the system, to get the work done more efficiently and also to improve the quality of the work through the merging back of business and operational services as a division. We believe that as these 9 departments work in a more integrated fashion, we'll be able to accomplish more for our schools and our central office. We do have a strategic plan strategy in the 5-year plan that addresses this. It's articulated in the following fashion. It's called Future-Proofed and Resilient Infrastructure. And so we believe that this integration of business and operation is going to really do a great job of helping us execute on building that infrastructure that's mentioned in the strategic plan. So we want to closely monitor the impact of this integration. And there's the system portrait alignment. And then just as a reminder, in addition to the annual priorities, what I love about this governance team and specifically this school board, this started a few years ago when we adopted this practice as part of our governance framework. We don't only expect changes from employees in the school system and all of the leadership working to continuously improve the quality of educational experience in NVUSD. The board has always taken the stance that if we're going to ask improvement and changes of the employees working with students, and the employees that are supporting the employees working directly with students, that the board also has to always have an eye on continuous improvement of its governance. And so we always look at the CSBA, California School Boards Association, has 12 superintendent governance standards, and we always choose 1 or 2 of them, and then we commit to that governance standard or 2 for the year. The one that the governance team chose back in June was this one: develop and implement a board communication strategy that enables our community to understand the challenges, constraints, and possibilities of governance. And that was a great governance standard to choose because one of the things that emerged in our strategic visioning and planning process was that it was really clear as we engaged with the community that there was a need for the community to have a better understanding of what the board actually does, what their function is, what their role is in terms of improving student achievement. And so it landed in our 5-year strategic plan because of that. There's a strategy in the strategic plan labeled Board Engagement and Communication Strategy. It's about ensuring that we're looking at attaining diverse input, feedback, dialogue, and through that reciprocal dialogue, we hope to build a community understanding around what the board does in service to students. And we have a system portrait element because this organization has learned that high quality governance matters. And so the system portrait alignment of that board priority and strategic plan strategy is the element articulated as proactive and sustaining governance. And that concludes my presentation of the 24-25 board annual priorities. I'm happy to take any questions and/or comments from the board, but you might want to see if there's public comment first.
Do we have any public comments, Mr. Michael?
We do not. There's no public comment on this item.
Thank you. All right, board. Any comments? Trustee Gracia? He was nodding his head first.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited to see how our new strategic plan gets implemented and how we begin to move forward. There was a lot of work put in by many members of the community in drafting this plan, and I'm kind of excited to see it for the first time now in action.
Trustee Chu?
I had a similar comment, but I do want to add a thank you to all the community and the students especially who really contributed to this plan. And I hope that we are able to execute according to their ideas.
Thank you, Trustee Chu. Trustee Hart?
I'll just mirror what's already been said. I mean, obviously, there's been hours and hours of planning put into this. I know we had a special community interaction day here out in the Ed Center where everybody got to come and see it and give comment and add to it. So it's been quite a job, and I think it's gorgeous. As a design and printing fan, the piece that got produced is beautiful, and I hope that it gets out into the community, into lots of people's hands, so they can appreciate the effort that's put into it. And really, the thing that I recognize about it is that it really is a change of direction in terms of how we've been working together as a district. So I'm excited as well to see it move forward.
Trustee Reiser?
Yeah, I just really appreciate the elegance of the overlay from the, the very long-term plan to the 5-year strategic plan to the annual board priorities, that we have to take these things in increments. And I think to toot our horn here, I think we did a good job of sort of identifying where the first starting places were and what made sense and what was doable. The strategic vision from our community was just so organically and honestly derived from the community. So I'm very excited about seeing it operationalized for this first school year, and I really enjoyed the presentation.
Thank you. I agree with everything everyone said, particularly the youth involvement, particularly our mission this year of communication, and I happen to love our new mission statement.
Great. Well, thank you for listening. And I think our ongoing challenge as a governance team will be to help continue to create that alignment when we're taking these one-year increments, like you said, Trustee Reiser, how we continue to make sure that those one-year increments are advancing the community-driven vision and strategic plan that was developed. So thank you so much for all of your support and your involvement, but your support as a board has been critical, and I know the staff and I really appreciate it.
Now we're going to move to K, action items. And 1A, business services, is Resolution 25-01 in support of Proposition 2, kindergarten through grade 12 schools and local community college public education facilities modernization, repair, and safety bond act of 2024.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Trustee Gracia, a second by Trustee Hart. Do we have any public comments on this, Mr. Michael?
There is no public comment on this item.
Thank you, sir. And now we need a roll call vote.
Trustee Water?
Aye.
Trustee Reiser?
Aye.
Trustee Shu?
Aye.
Trustee Gracia?
Aye.
Trustee Hart?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you. And now K1B, Resolution 25-02, to delegate authority to award contracts under the informal bid limit.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Trustee Gracia, second by Trustee Hart. Mr. Michael, do we have any public comments?
There is no public comment on this item.
All right, we need a roll call vote.
Trustee Water?
Aye.
Trustee Reiser?
Aye.
Trustee Shu?
Aye.
Trustee Gracia?
Aye.
Trustee Hart?
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, C is consulting hours for Aries software.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, motion by Trustee Gracia, second by Trustee Hart. Mr. Michael, do we have any public comment?
There is no public comment on this item.
Thank you, sir. All in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions? Noes? Okay, unanimous. 2, human resources. A, request to hire educator less than fully credentialed.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, motion by Trustee Gracia, second by Trustee Hart. Is there any public comment?
There is no public comment on this item.
Okay, so all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Okay, I'd just like to say, in case anyone is listening, that all these people will be fully credentialed by June of 2025. 3, instructional services. A, 2024-25, School Plan for Student Achievement, SPSA, Addendum.
Move to approve.
Second.
A motion by trustee Gracia, second by trustee Hart. Do we have any public comments?
There is no public comment on this item.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstention? It's unanimous. B, renewal of Imagine Learning.
Move to approve.
Second?
Motion by trustee Gracia, second by trustee Hart. Mr. Michaels, are there any public comments?
There is no public comment on this item.
President Water?
Yeah.
Before the board takes a vote, we did prepare in response to a future agenda item request, I don't know, maybe 18 months ago, regarding the impact of Imagine Learning and Literacy. And so before the board takes the vote, I'd like to have Executive Director Matt Manning present some of the research and data that they did before they brought forth a renewal, because it really did inform the renewal that was brought to the school board.
Great.
All right, thank you very much. Good evening, President Water, Board of Trustees, Dr. Massetti. Excuse me, happy new school year to all of you, and thank you for the opportunity to present just a brief impact overview of our work with ILL this past year. So this program, ILL, aligns with annual board priority number 1, focused on improving literacy outcomes for all of our students, and then on our new strategic plan strategy number 1 as well. So just as a reminder of what ILL is, it's an adaptive program, online learning program for students. That adaptive meaning that it responds to student needs as there's concepts that they need more practice with. The program provides them opportunities for more practice, and then as they can advance, the program advances them in their learning. And it is a program that focuses on developing language. Do I need to pause? No, okay. It's a program it's focused on developing language and literacy at the same time, so supporting our multilingual learners and really all students in developing foundational literacy skills. So there's practice with both word recognition and language comprehension, so both sides of Scarborough's rope, which we've presented and talked to you about before. And there's a strong emphasis on vocabulary development in Imagine Language and Literacy. So in terms of the usage this past year, we had 5,767 elementary students enrolled in the program. And with those students, the average usage was 22.7 hours. And the recommendation from ILL is that students have at least 20 hours, and that's per year. So we're right where we need to be in terms of usage. And then in terms of lessons passed, the average was 27.8 lessons passed. And the recommendation from ILL is 25 lessons passed per year. So again, we're right where we need to be with usage and lessons passed. So the next few slides will provide you with an overview of how students perform the impact in K2 as measured by the STAR Early Literacy Assessment. So what you'll see here on this slide is that there was a statistically significant impact for students who engaged with ILL. What this graph shows is that for students who used the program with 20 lessons, that 20 lesson mark, they made about 15%, 14% more points growth and scaled score growth on the STAR Early Literacy Assessment than students who didn't pass any of those lessons in ILL. So that's a statistically significant impact in K2 grades in ILL. On STAR Early Literacy. And then we've broken this down also by grade level. So here you'll see that there's also been a statistically significant impact across grade levels, with more impact in K and kinder and second grade, but still a positive correlation in first grade as well. And this slide shows the impact for our multilingual learners and our multilingual learner students. So we see positive correlation there for both groups of students. And if you'll notice, there's even a little bit of a narrowing of the gap at the end of the year, which is exactly what we want to see. We want to see our students who are multilingual learners, we want to see their learning accelerated so that there's less of a gap in learning and in performance between our multilingual learners and non-MLL students. So then when we move to our next slide, here's where we see our 3rd through 5th grade results. And this is as measured by STAR reading. And here we don't see a significant impact on student learning as measured by star reading. So it's really pretty flat there, whether students passed 0 lessons or 20 lessons, a negligible impact with ILL. So based on these results and our analysis of these results, we've made some decisions before and some plans before bringing this recommendation to you. So the first is that we do plan to continue with ILL for students in grades K2. We are seeing an impact there. So what we'd like to do is really heighten that impact. In order for me to comfortably bring this back to the board again next year, I'd like to see even more growth. So year over year, we want to see continued growth and impact from ILL. So we will continue to use the program K2 with your approval and establish a group of teachers who we know are using the program really well, who are getting maximum impact, and begin to learn from those teachers and have those teachers work with other teachers to replicate that success. And then we are planning to discontinue usage based on these results in grades 3-5, which significantly reduces the cost to us because we are not seeing the impact there. And then we will, again, monitor growth to ensure that we continue to see results. And at the same time, we will look into other programs for K2 and 3-5. We do see the results with ILL and K2, but we always want to make sure that if there are other programs that come available that might have a stronger impact, that we're aware of those and piloting those, and then we'll look for an alternative for 3-5. So that's the impact from this previous year. Happy to take any questions that you might have.
How about Trustee Chu first, and then Trustee Ross?
So I just want to say that it's wonderful to see this data-driven decision-making, and it really highlights our annual priority number 1, where we're looking at evidence-based, high-quality literacy instruction, TK-12, with a focus on early literacy and intervention. So I'm really glad that we're seeing that from the first meeting. So thank you for presenting that to us.
Thank you.
Yeah, I really appreciated this presentation. I like that we have identified that it's really working for a subset of our population, particularly the K2 students. And then we were also able to identify that it's not really having an impact 3-5, and so we're dropping that and looking for an alternative. I think those are smart choices that we're making, and I really appreciate that we've done this analysis and we're acting out on the data that we've collected. So I hope that we see this type of thing in the future with regard to programs that we adopt.
Thank you.
Well, I was just intrigued that you could get those results after 22 hours. And I was really glad that it wasn't 50 or 60 or 180 hours, because you know how I am about technology. So thank you very much.
It's a balance.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay, so all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Okay, it's unanimous. Thank you. C, Napa County Office of Education, on behalf of Consortium of Napa County Local Education Agencies.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, motion by Trustee Gracia, second by Trustee Hart. Mr. Michaels, do we have any public comments?
There is no public comment on this item.
Thank you, sir. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? It's unanimous. D, agreement with trustees of California State University on behalf of San Francisco State University.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, motion by Trustee Gracia, second by Trustee Hart. Mr. Michael, do we have any public comments?
There is no public comment on this item.
Thank you. And all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? It's unanimous. Okay, E is agreement with Houghton Mifflin Harcourt.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, motion by Trustee Gracia, second by Trustee Hart. Do we have any public comments?
There is no public comment on this item.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstain, it's unanimous. F, agreement with Marin Health.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by trustee Gracia, second by trustee Hart. Mr. Michael, are there any public comments?
There is no public comment on this item.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Unanimous. G, agreement with Burlington English.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by trustee Gracia, second by trustee Hart. Mr. Michaels, do we have any public comment?
There is no public comment on this item.
Thank you, sir. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? It's unanimous. H, appointment of Napa Valley Unified School District representatives to the Napa Valley Adult Education Consortium Board of Directors.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by trustee Gracia, second by trustee Hart. Mr. Michael, do we have any public comment?
There's no public comment on this item.
Thank you. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain? None. It's unanimous. I, Napa Valley Adult Education Course of Study Adoption for Introduction to Human Services.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by trustee Gracia, second by trustee Hart. Mr. Michael, are there any public comments?
There is no public comment on this item.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? It's unanimous. J, Napa Valley Adult Education Course of Study Adoption for Introduction to Social Media.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by trustee Gracia, second by trustee Hart. Public comment, Mr. Michael?
There is no public comment on this item.
Thank you. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain? No. It is unanimous. Okay, Securely Howard Technology Solutions.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by trustee Gracia, second by trustee Hart. Mr. Michael, are there any public comments?
There is no public comment on this item.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Nope. Unanimous. Clovis Unified School District, Sierra Outdoor School.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by trustee Gracia, second by trustee Hart. Mr. Michael, any public comment?
There is no public comment on this item.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
No opposed, no abstention. 4, operational services. A, maintenance agreement with Cal Incorporated.
Move to approve.
Second.
Trustee Gracia, motion. Trustee Hart, second. Are there any public comments, Mr. Michael?
There is no public comment on this item.
Thank you. All in favor? Aye. No opposed, no abstain. 5, school planning and construction. A, SBC 16.55-17, civil design at Redwood Middle School.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, motion from trustee Gracia, second from trustee Hart. Mr. Michael, any public comment?
There is no public comment on this item.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, unanimous. Okay, we have L, informational, 1, general services. This is public comment, right? Curriculum and students.
If there's a meeting.
What?
If there's a meeting.
If there's a meeting. Okay, we haven't had any meetings. Curriculum and Student Support Committee? Nope. Facilities and Technology Committee? Nope. Finance Committee? Policy Committee? Nope. And 2, Business Services, Quarterly Investment Report. Oh, I thought we did a motion in that.
For these, you have.
Okay, Business Services, public comment. Do we have any public comments on Business Services? For Quarterly Investment Report.
There's no public comment on this item.
Okay, great. And B, warrant register for accounts payable checks issued by NVUSD.
President Water, I did want to mention that on the quarterly investment report, it was a little disappointing how low the return was, considering that if we had invested in bonds, we would have a much higher return.
Well, thank you for that. Yes. Yeah, I think of things that I should have invested in 50 years ago. B, warrant register for accounts payable checks issued by NVUSD. Any public comment?
There is no public comment on this item.
Okay, instructional services. Any public comment on the local control and accountability plan? Local performance indicator update? Mr. Michael, are there any public comments on the local control and accountability plan? Local
Sorry
performance
about
indicator
that.
update?
Yeah,
No,
there
that's
is no
okay.
public comment.
Okay, well, thank you. And M, additional suggestions and comments from board members and superintendent? None? I do have one. Okay, election season is upon us. Let's all remember not to use school district emails or school district social media to promote candidates or issues. Other public agencies may forget this, but we will not. Thank you. And future agenda items? No future agenda items? Okay, well, I'll let you do this.
Move to adjourn.
Okay, motion by trustee Gracia, second by trustee Hart. All in favor? Aye. I don't know, I want to hang around here some more. Okay, thank you, and now we are adjourned.